Hey guys, welcome on back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome, and we are going to be covering a little bit, going into Linux a little bit. We're going to be covering an application for regarding managing app images. So it's going to be regarding gear lever. So why don't we get into that today on Tux Quest. And before we get started, I would like to ask that if anybody happens to like this content, go ahead and give it a like. And I also ask that you subscribe. And there we go. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are. We are in Linux Mint. Here we go. So we are on the desktop, as we can see right here. And this is my recolored version from the black and white. And yeah, so if we were to come down here to the start menu, and if you notice, it's the logo for the channel. So you're welcome. This is something that you don't have the ability to change in Windows or in Macintosh or maybe some other OSs out there, but in Linux, namely Linux Mint, you can change it. So there it is. So here we are. We're in start. So there we go. Now, if we were to go up here to the upper left, this icon right here, this is the software center. So go there. And it loads, and here we go. And of course, we've got the ones about, like Bitwarden, Whatsy, whatever, so on and so forth. And then we got others down here, and then you've got some categories down at the bottom, and then you got top rated, everything like that. So this is where you can install software. So let's say if I wanted to punch in FileZilla, we'll just use that as an example. So I click on that, and it comes up, and it shows you it's FileZilla, and we've got some pictures to pick from, well, don't pick from them, but you can look at them to see what you've got. You've got two tabs down here. You got details, which is right here, which tells you about the software to some degree. And then if you want to look at reviews, you can go to the reviews tab and you can look at those. So we've got all of that. And in the upper right area, we have the install button. And below it, it tells you what kind of software it is. This is a system package, which means this software is going to install using your systems package manager. Basically your installer. And the software that is listed as a system package means it's going to be going into your OS's files, directory structure, things of that sort. It basically molds itself into the OS. So let's see if we can pick out, let's get rid of that. Let's go click on the back button here. And let's see if we want to say Flatpaks. So I'm going to click on Flatpaks down here. So we've got Flatpaks down here. So just for the sake of example, we'll pick Flatsteel. You'll come up and you'll see right in here, it says Flatpak from FlatHub. So Flatpaks are, like I was mentioning, Flatpaks are software that are isolated. They have their own isolated environment for use inside the OS. This software does not interfere or get molded in along with your OS directory structure or the files individually. It's a segregated area to allow programs to run. So we're actually going to come back out here, and I am going to click back again right to here to the main area, and we are going to punch in the name gear lever, and there it is right there, and it's from FlatHub. So this is a Flatpak. So this software is actually going to be segregated from the OS, so it doesn't go messing with system files or other application files. It's in its own dedicated area. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to install that. So I click on that, and it's going to tell you right away that additional software will be installed. And it gives you everything like that. And this is all stuff. These are what we call in the Linux world dependencies. In other words, the software we're running is not going to run unless it has this other software installed. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to continue to get that in there as well. And we will see right up here, it's getting installed. And there we go. So that progress bar disappeared, and we now have two buttons, launch it or remove it. Well, I'm not going to launch it from here. I'm just going to go ahead and close this. And now I'm going to come to the start menu, or the super key menu. We don't call it a start button or a window button or an Apple button. We call it a super key because it is super. It is more super than Windows, super than Apple, super than what have you. Here we go. So I'm going to punch in gear, and there it is right there, gear lever. Now, if I wanted to, if you want to, you could right click on it, come down here, you could add it to the panel, add it to the desktop, things like that. So add it to your favorites. When you add to favorites, it's going to get put onto right in here. This is your favorites. So, but we'll just launch it from here. And there it is. So we'll drag this over in the center. And you can say, well, show the welcome screen if you wish. You could open your preferences if you wish. So what you can do here, you can click open. So if you will click to open, then you need to actually install the AppImage. So I've actually downloaded a couple. So they're in my downloads folder. You can see I've got it all right here. And it's got the .AppImage file extension of sorts at the very end. I've got one here and I've got one here. So I'm going to throw in this Audacity one. And here it is. Package type, it's an AppImage type 2. It tells you what the path is, what the hash is. Now this is important. This is for determining whether or not you've got actual authentic software. So you would actually take these values, and you would only really need the last 3 or 4 characters to do this, but you would compare this to the identical values or the indicated values from the website in which you downloaded it from, and they would tell you what those are. I'm not going to check them here. This is just for example, and this is a virtual machine, so I don't care about it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. Okay, it says, please verify the source of this app before you open it. Well, I did get this from Audacity directly, so I will unlock it. And then we want to move it to the app menu. So I'm going to click on that. And it's highlighted that blue, so that's really good. So here we are, and we've got that. And if I click back here, we can see now it's actually on our installed applications list. Another neat little bonus that Gear Lever has is right in here. Check for updates. You can actually check for updates. Now, when it comes to AppImages, the whole idea about these is that you download an app image, and that's the actual program. And what you have to do at that point is if you want to check for updated versions of it, stuff like that, then you have to go out to the website, check on that. You have to do all of that work yourself to see if there's a new version out there, download the new version and use that one. But you can actually check for updates right here. You click on that. Checking for updates. What it did was it went out to the website for Audacity and saw that there are no current updates. So why don't I add another one? So go back to downloads and this open shot. So there's this. Here it is. We'll just say it's good, which I know it is because I already have the software and I already use it. OpenShot Video Editor. This is actually the video editor I use to edit these videos. So I just use it as an example. And we'll move it to the app menu. So there we go. And if I go back, there it is. Like that. And when you click on each one, it'll basically pull up the application, give you all the information, update management, so on and so forth and such. And then you can launch it here. And it'll also tell you right away, no updates are available. Okay. Let's go to OpenShot. Well, here we go. Does not appear that there can be updates. We'll do it again just to be safe. No updates found. We'll go into that. And we don't get an option here or an indicator of whether or not it's got updates available and such. So there we go. There's that. So when you want to actually launch one of these, you go ahead and pick one. We're going to pick OpenShot. Comes up like that, and you pick launch, and then it may take you a few moments to actually open it. That's okay. Just let it do its thing. It'll come up. And there it is. So from here, I can maximize the window, and here is our editor. And then you can go ahead and, for this program, you can actually go in and edit some videos. It's very good. So I'm going to close that, and there we go. Save changes? No. Says I have no project going on. So there we go. And, you got update management. You could change your source to a static URL, to GitHub if you wish. Update URL. You could edit that perhaps, and you got this little how it works button, which will go out, and guide, update manager in GearLever, how to use it. So there's that. Environment variables, add our customized environment for this application. You could add an environment or customize the environment for it. That's if you wish. So reload the metadata. We can fire that up real quick. Get the little thing. It's all updated, and there we go. Okay. So that's everything for that. Okay, so that is GearLever in the Linux world. In regards to AppImages, when you download an AppImage, I would recommend that you keep those all collected and isolated in their own folder. So I would create a folder dedicated for those, wherever you want to put them. I think they would probably best right in your home folder. So in your user home folder, create a folder for AppImages. And when you download AppImages, place them in there. Cut and paste them over into there, or have them directly downloaded to that folder. And then when you go into GearLever, you go to that, you navigate to that folder and select the ones you want to go ahead and put onto your app menu. And then from there, you should be all set. So that is a little demonstration about GearLever. It's very, very good. It's a great way to organize and manage all of your app images if you don't want to use Flatpaks, snaps, or system packages. If you really want to use AppImages, this is a great application in order to do that. So I recommend you try it out. So that's going to do it for this video. And yeah, so enjoy your day, your weekend, your evening, your date, your whatever. Have fun with it. So thank you very much. Skál. Drink to victory.